Welcome back to Basement Integrity Podcast by IcyReno. I'm excited to guide you through today's deep dive.
And I'm ready to unpack the crucial details with you, hopefully make things a bit clearer.
Last time, we explored smart solutions for foundation lowering in high water table areas. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Today, we're shifting gears slightly, but it's just as vital for Toronto homeowners, maybe even more overlooked sometimes, permits for basement waterproofing.
It's a common question we get all the time here, IcyReno, do I actually need a permit for this damp basement?
Exactly. So you're dealing with that dampness, you're ready to get started, but hold on.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Before any digging or drilling starts.
We need to unpack this. What exactly do you, as a Toronto homeowner, need to know about basement waterproofing permits?
Right. Our mission today is really to cut through the jargon, the red tape.
Give you the clearest picture possible based on our experience here at IcyReno and, of course, the City of Toronto's guidelines. So let's get right to it. The short answer we often say is, it depends. Can you elaborate? What exactly does it depend on?
That's spot on. It absolutely depends. According to the City of Toronto's building permit rules, and this is what we work with daily, some waterproofing jobs do require permits, while others, maybe surprisingly, don't.
Okay.
It really, really hinges on the type of work, the scope of what you're planning. It's not always black and white.
Okay, let's start with the simpler stuff then. What kind of waterproofing work can homeowners generally do without wading into permit territory?
Okay, good starting point. So if your project is pretty minor, and crucially, it doesn't affect your home's structure, you're usually in the clear.
Right.
We're talking things like interior waterproofing only, maybe sealing basement walls with waterproof coatings.
Just painting something on, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Or installing an interior drainage system like a weeping tile inside. Also, replacing an existing sump pump or backwater valve. Key word there is existing.
Ah, so no new plumbing involved.
Exactly, as long as you're not adding new plumbing. And simple crack injections from inside the basement wall. If there's no digging outside, no excavation.
Gotcha. So these are all considered non-structural repairs. Makes sense. No permit needed. That's good news for smaller fixes.
Yeah, keeps things simpler for those jobs.
But here's where it gets interesting, I guess. When does basement waterproofing work cross that line? When does it become invasive enough that a permit is, well, probably required?
Okay, yeah, this is the big one. You'll almost certainly need a permit if, well, first off, if you're excavating around the foundation from the outside.
Okay, digging down.
Yeah, what's often called exterior waterproofing. You're digging right next to the foundation. The city wants to know about that.
Makes sense.
Another definite trigger is lowering your basement floor. For basement underpinning projects, that's major structural work.
Right. Underpinning always needs one. We talked about that before.
Always. And then there's plumbing. If you're adding or altering plumbing significantly, like installing a new sump pump system where one didn't exist before.
A totally new system, not just a replacement.
Correct. Or doing any foundation repairs that actually affect the load-bearing parts of your home.
So the key takeaway here seems to be, if the work alters the structure, involves significant digging outside, or adds new plumbing, a permit is pretty much a must.
That sums it up well, yeah.
Okay, getting a permit, though, it can sound daunting. Lots of forms, City Hall. Can you walk us through the general process here in Toronto? Make it seem less painful.
It doesn't have to be painful, honestly. It involves a few key steps. First, you'll generally need to hire a licensed pro, like us at IcyReno. We assess the basement, figure out the right scope of work.
Right.
Then, if structural work is involved, and this is key, you'll need professional drawings, sealed by a licensed engineer.
The official plans.
Exactly. Then you, or often we, apply for the building permit with the City of Toronto. You can do it online now mostly, or in person. Now, crucially, if there are structural changes, the engineer has to complete and sign this document called the Commitment to General Reviews.
Ah, you mentioned that. What is that exactly?
It's basically the engineer formally committing to oversee the critical stages of the structural work. They're signing off that they'll check it. You, the homeowner, fill out Part A.
Okay, so it ensures oversight.
Precisely. And that form must go in with your application. Then, well, you wait for approval. Could be a few days, could be a few weeks. Depends on the project's complexity, really.
That commitment to general reviews does sound pretty important for structural stuff. Okay, so we know how to get one, but let's talk risks. What are the real consequences if someone thinks, I'll just skip the permit, save some hassle for work that clearly needs one, Is it just a slap on the wrist?
Oh, definitely not just a slap on the wrist. Please don't skip it. Seriously. We've seen it go wrong. Doing required work without a permit can lead to massive headaches and costs. Well, first, you could face stop work orders from the city. Everything just halts. Imagine crews standing around, schedules blown. Frustrating and expensive.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Then there are fines. The city of Toronto can issue hefty fines. But honestly, the biggest issue often comes later.
When you try to sell.
Exactly. Major trouble selling your home. Unpermitted work. That's a huge red flag for buyers, home inspectors, even lenders. It can seriously impact your home's resale value.
And potentially safety, right? If structural work wasn't inspected.
Absolutely. Safety is paramount. That's why the inspections tied to the permit are so important.
Okay, point taken. Don't skip the permit. What about the cost of the permit itself? Is that a major budget item?
It varies, you know. Permit fees depend on the nature and size of the job. For, let's say, minor structural stuff, maybe a few $100s.
Okay, manageable.
But for big projects like major excavation or underpinning, the fees will be higher. They're often calculated based on the project value or sometimes the square footage involved.
So it scales with the job size.
Pretty much. We always tell people to check the latest City of Toronto fee schedule. We can help figure that out too, of course.
Let's circle back to basement underpinning specifically because it's such a big job. This definitely falls into the needs a permit category, no question, right?
100%. Absolutely. If your waterproofing plan involves lowering the basement floor, underpinning, that is a structural project. Full stop.
So what's needed then?
You will need proper architectural and structural drawings. You'll need that engineer's commitment to general reviews form we talked about.
Right.
And you absolutely need full permit approval before any of that work starts. Skipping this step. Well, it seriously compromises safety and your home's value down the line. It's just not worth cutting corners there.
Makes total sense. So it's clear permits are essential for certain work. Now, for homeowners listening, working with a company like IcyReno, we've been around since 2009.
Yeah, quite a while now.
Can we handle this permit process for the homeowner? Or is it something they have to navigate themselves?
Oh, absolutely we can, and in most cases we really should. It's part of the service. As a trusted contractor, we at IcyReno typically coordinate the whole permit process.
How does that work?
Well, we work directly with the engineers to get the drawings sorted. We handle submitting all the paperwork to the city, liaise with them, make sure everything complies with the guidelines.
So you take that stress off the homeowner.
That's the goal. You don't have to decipher forms or legal jargon. You can focus on the outcome, a dry, safe basement.
Okay, perfect. So to quickly recap everything for our listener, boil it down, what's the absolute bottom line on basement waterproofing permits in Toronto?
All right, the nutshell version. The TLDR, if you like. Interior waterproofing only. Generally, no permit needed.
Oops.
Exterior work, dipping down, or any structural changes, you probably need a permit. Get it checked.
Right.
Basement lowering or underpinning, you 100% need a permit. No question.
Got it.
And the golden rule. Always check with a professional like us at IcyReno before you start any work. Just ask.
Better safe than sorry. And ultimately, it sounds like a permit isn't just bureaucracy. It protects your home, your investment.
And your peace of mind. Exactly.
It's just better to be safe, dry, and, well, legal.
Totally agree. What stands out to you thinking about all this? Maybe the complexity around underpinning or just knowing you did things right by the book?
Yeah, I think it's that peace of mind, knowing it's done correctly and won't cause problems later.
Consider how this knowledge empowers you, when you're planning your next project.
Absolutely. So if you're listening and you're still not sure where your specific basement waterproofing project falls, or if you just need some guidance,
please reach out to us at IcyReno. We're here to help clear things up. No guesswork needed.
You can contact us for a free consultation. The number is 647-454-6600, or shoot us an email, info@icyreno.ca.
And we've got locations in Etobicoke and Toronto, 1401, the Queensway Unit, #10, 15 Moynes Ave, and 826 Runnymede Ride. Easy to find us.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of basement waterproofing permits.
My pleasure. Hope it was helpful.
We'll be back soon with another essential deep dive for homeowners. Until then, stay dry and stay informed.